Check on free.
Rules of differentiation. Right. So we'll do, because there's two ways it can be written. We'll go y is equal to 3 and fx is equal to 3. Right. Same sum written in two different ways. Remember, fx is the same as y. And numbers like 3, 4, 4.5, numbers, any numbers are called constants. Now what do we just say? Well, this is the notation. dy dx, dy is equal to, when you differentiate a constant, a number, you get 0. I want to keep it as simple as that. This is another way of writing differentiation. So if you differentiate a constant, you get 0. If I differentiate, if that was 5, it's still 0. If that was 1,000, the answer is still 0. If it was -1, the answer is still 0, -1. If it was differentiate a half, the answer is 0. If it was minus a half, the answer is still 0. If it was differentiate 5.676, the answer is still 0. Okay? Right. Now, the rules of differentiation. Let's say if I differentiate 2x. So if I differentiate 2x, a simple rule that you can remember is just remove the x. Right? Remove the x. So you can use different letters. Let's say 10y. In this case, 10, I'll use z. Now, if you look at the left-hand side, the notation, that means the letters used are important in the correct order. If we look at the order, it's y first, followed by a z. So it's y first, dy, followed by, not an x, a z.
What's D stand?
Differentiation. So I'm going to differentiate y, it's called, with respect to z. So you're looking at the changes in y with respect to the changes in z. I'll explain what that means in a little while. So the same as differentiating 10x, I can just remove, if I differentiate 10z, I can just remove the z. The answer is 10. If I differentiate, in this case, replace the x with z, differentiate 10z, I get 10. Alright?
Like it just cancels out.
Yeah. I'm simplifying it now. Right, we'll go back to y's and x's. Right, so let's say if I have 2x squared, or maybe I'll change it to 3x squared. Right, there's two steps at this point. First of all, you multiply the power times the number in front of the x. That's called the coefficient. Power times the coefficient. 2 times 3 is 6x. And the second rule is reduce the power by 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. But you can write 6x to the power 1 as 6x. Over here, same thing. I've written twice to show you that there's two ways of writing it out. Some can be given to you like that, and that's how you have to give your answer. Or the sum can be given to you like that. And this is the way that you write your answer. Alright, so another example. 2x to the power of 3. So rule number 1, multiply the power times the coefficient. Coefficient is the number in front of the x. 2 3s are 6. Subtract 1 from the power. 2. Some could also be given to you like that. Same answer. Alright.
So what's the sign?
1 second. So here's another one. 5x to the power of 4. So multiply the power times the coefficient. 20x, reduce the power by 1. And it's the same answer here. Reduce the power by 1. Right. Here's where you just have to use your reduce the power by 1. Remember that. Just look up. Here's where you have to use your head. Let's say we had 2x to the minus 1. Right. Same rules apply. Multiply the power. Minus 1 times 2. What happens when you reduce? Subtract 1 from that. Think of the number line. Minus 2. So minus 1 is minus 2 on the number line. Alright? Okay. Same rules apply. One other example. So let's say 5x to the minus 3. Multiply the power times the coefficient, minus 15. Subtract 1 from that, minus 4. Minus 15x minus 4. And one other example comes to mind. What happens, hello, if we have 2x to the power of minus a half? What's minus a half times 2?
1 minus 1.
Minus 1. Use your calculator if you're not too sure. And if you subtract 1 from minus a half. Yeah, minus 1.5. Alright, book 1. Hello. I have a record of who's here, so I'll check you boys tomorrow. Sit down. Sit down. Right. So do questions 1 to 6, page 299, or exercise 12.2.
Question 6.
1 to 6, exercise 12.2. Right, Philip, you too. I'm going to check your work first tomorrow. Philip, come on out. Philip, you didn't do any better today. You were still talking and chatting. Shane, you're not sitting beside Philip. Philip's not sitting beside Shane.
Thanks, sir.
See you later. 9.
Thanks, sir.
Do you understand that?
Just last night when I was trying to do the number 1, we do it.
Will you be able to do it now?
Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Alright. Try again tonight.
Thanks, sir.
See you later. I'll put that example on the LCO reference.